Welcome back to another weekly Web3 Digest with me, Jacob Block, the founder of Magnet, a best-in-class crypto growth consultancy company. Now, it's very important that you don't just take what's happening in the markets as the overall update that you need to stay in loop with the crypto market, because there are so many things that are happening outside of what's going on in the live market that paint a completely different picture and sentiment of what's going on in crypto right now. So that's why we do the weekly digests, because we're in the trenches every single day and it is our job to know what is going on. So I've done enough talking. Let's get straight into the biggest stories, news, and discoveries this week in crypto. So firstly, we will just get the market bit out of the way. So we've been moving and pretty much on a sideline of recent. And we've actually seen a slight recovery of 15% from April the 7th lows. However, we're still almost 40% down in terms of overall market capitalization so far this year. And something that is holding this up is, of course, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dominance continues to grow, especially against Ethereum and other top performing alts. Or I say top performing alts, scrap that, just alts that are of very high market caps that are performing with Bitcoin on market capitalization. But Bitcoin's still holding this market up. The next point we want to get into is that $5 billion was lost in one token last week. Mantra, ticker OM, lost $5 billion. They plunged from over $6 billion in market cap to 500 million in market cap within the space of 24 hours. Now, I haven't seen something like this in a long time, but when you actually work out how this happened, it's very easy to see. Big investors that hold a lot of token supply and got unlocks sold their supply. Market makers most probably had a loan agreement to be able to buy tokens at whatever the pre-agreed lower price was, activated that loan agreement, sold their tokens. So everyone just started selling their tokens, and whether there was something going on inside of Mantra that kind of indicates all of these parties that people were going to sell, I don't know. But the point is they all came and they all sold, and it plunged 90% of value. It again goes to show how weak current market conditions are, and volume and liquidity in the market, because it was just pure selling pressure. There was no one there to come and try and buy it back up thinking, oh, this token's now at a discounted price. No one was there to catch the fall. Everyone just let it drop. So yeah, it's terrible. It was already massively down this year, but to drop a further $5 billion is crazy. And there's a lot of questions that the Mantra team need to answer. Now, our job at Magnet is to understand why that happened. And when we're working with projects in the future, helping them navigate how to prevent that from happening to them. Next point is that Bitcoin whales are going all in. So according to Glassnode, Bitcoin whales are now absorbing over 300% of newly mined Bitcoin. They're aggressively outpacing new issuance of Bitcoin. For every Bitcoin mined, whales are buying 3. So this goes to show that people cannot get enough of Bitcoin. The demand for Bitcoin is continuing to grow, even though everything else in the crypto market side is looking pretty grim. Bitcoin is a standout asset. And this is an asset that not just people in crypto are investing, but everyone is invested in right now, especially even trying to position yourself against the potential of an economic recession. People are buying Bitcoin. It is digital gold. Bitcoin is it's our leader. It's that bit of faith that we have in this market, and it's continuing to skyrocket with demand and fight so well against external market pressures. You know, some altcoins, most altcoins, 70, 80, 90% down, not Bitcoin. Our leader is doing well. Next up, what narratives did we see in Q1? So believe it or not, are we still stuck in the past is the question, because AI and meme coins dominated narratives in Q1. AI tokens captured 35.7% of the total investor market, and meme coins followed with 27.1%. And out of the top tracked narratives, 6 were meme coin related, while 5 were focused on AI and AI infrastructure. So the themes of last year, where we had meme coin super cycle, then we had the AI mind-blowing mind share, have still continued. Meme coins are slowly dying out, and I do think there's room for new narratives to make way whenever this market does change. And I actually did a video on that last week. If you check out my socials, Jake on blog, you'll see my predictions for narratives that I think are going to take over later on this year. And the final point on the weekly digest is crypto winter approaching? Now, as of mid-April, the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, was under $1 trillion. And this goes again to show Bitcoin's strength, because look at the rest of the market. So under $1 trillion, and this is down 41% from December 2024, which is a huge drop in such a short period of time. And this is 17% down year on year. And the market is trading almost lower than the levels we saw between August 2021 and April 2022. And this is when we had like a wintry period of last that we recorded. This is wintry period, and we're trading lower than that. So when you look at just the stats and the figures surrounding that, it's very hard to think that we're not in some form of winter period. But with that being said, we've been in this for a while, I think, at least 4 months. So we might see a couple more months of this, and maybe we're gonna see some form of bottom out, and then hopefully the market will be reinvigorated when we get some form of macroeconomic stability, and also we can start really kind of pricing in bullish stuff that is happening in crypto that's just being forgotten about because of the general macroeconomic sentiment. So that's all we have time for today in weekly Web3 Digest. I hope you took some value from this. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you want to get hit with one of these videos every single week. We're going to bring something different every week. We're going to mention things that other sources aren't talking about because of our position in the market as a growth company. We're looking into things that are important to the business side of crypto and following that very closely, not just looking at chart patterns. So yeah, make sure to be plugged in, and I'll be here every single week. So hope to see you on the next one. Have a great week.